art and technology. I'm like surprised, art and technology, then why me? Then they said cinema. Oh, okay. There are three things in life which people will get always excited about. One is entertainment, one is sports, one is politics. These are actually so good, not for the people who are working on it, but people who are actually on the other side of it. ஏன்னா என்ன வேணா பேசலாம்ல, அவருக்கு என்னப்பா அவர் வாழ்க்கையில எல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டாரு, அவர் பார்க்காத அப்படின்னு. The shot lam Dhoni should have played on the right like this, We'll sitting on front of the TV, we'll be saying, boss, you go to the field and sit and watch it. No, 146 miles, kilometers per hour is what you go onto the floor, you will realize it. But on the other hand, if you look at it, I think people who are in these three industries, right? I'm like, they're very, very lucky. A lot of people really want to be there, and they have a lot of aspirations and certain dimensions they look at it. But it is only given to certain chosen people, whether they like it or not. It is about people whether liking it or not. So in that way, I'm really, really gifted, and I'm thankful to God for where I am as a producer right now, and also being a CEO and a co-founder and producer of Stonebench Films. So thanks God for that actually. And nobody knows me as a producer, which is again the beautiful gift God has given me. Okay, because people know that Stonebench is a Kaarthekeyen a company, and he becomes the face of the company, and everyone thinks that Kaarthekeyen Subbaraj is the producer as well, and which is beautiful for me as well, because I love privacy in life, and it's getting broken by the great honor of representing in one of the TEDx speeches here. But what I feel more important is, it's about when you build a company or a brand, I think you need a face for it. And how JPR, when you mention it, it stands for JPR Sir. I mean, like, it's a legacy which has been carried forward. You genuinely, there are a lot of people who come and work for you on the behind, who are the pillars of the company, but still you need a face which makes it. So in that way, I'm very happy that Kaarthekeyen Subbaraj is the face of the company. And I love the word what has been saying here, collaborated with Kaarthekeyen Subbaraj. Actually, it's nothing called collaboration. I mean, like, in my life, I did one beautiful thing, falling in love with Karthik's sister, okay, at 9th standard. I think that's the collaboration that you're talking about now, which has put me in the spot right now. But I think I was intelligent enough to identify how my entrepreneurial growth is going to be. And doesn't mean that I'm saying go and fall in love with people, believing that, these people are going to get bigger or better. But I'm saying that's where our journey started for me and Karthik, because we go from school days actually. And when I say school days, literally 9th standard, and he's just 1 year senior to me, 10th standard. And the name, the company Stonebench, actually comes from the stone bench that we used to have in our school days. And that's the place where we go and talk, basically, to bunk classes and sit and you talk all those creativity. When I say creativity, what youth will be talking about, and then we nostalgically feel, then why should we name it something like that? I said Stone Bench, great. That's how the name came into picture. But right now people are saying it's a creative bench. We give talent, we make sure the talent stands off it, and we are holding them high and taking all those pressure. I'm happy to hear all those, but the reality comes from this perspective. And here today, especially, I'm sorry for being late. I missed the first 2 sessions but there also one great thing which happens now here is I've never been early so much to any of the functions. Even my marriage timing was a little late because my dad knows what time I wake up actually, so it's about like JPR has the privilege of the first session before 12 o'clock. I've attended something and I've been here at 11:10, and then sorry, I should have been here by 10 o'clock. I'm really sorry about it. And other things, a couple of times I do wake up early, is one for Rajini sir film and Talabadi and Tala film, it gets released in the morning. That's the only thing. So I'm like, sun will be very glad to see me today. I'm shining bright. This guy is there. And they were happy enough to take me a photograph with all of them at 1 o'clock at the hot sun, saying, okay, I'm looking at the sun. Great. Okay, take the picture. I may look bright and, very shiny, at this point of time. So now coming back to the topic, actually, art and technology. Wow, beautiful. So first, like a producer, what do I look at it actually? I look at it, my targeted audience, what I'm creating the film for. So I really need to understand who all you are, like how many students are there, how many professors are there, how many MBA grads. I was surprised to see a few of them. They told me that they've enrolled this program for outside the college, which is really great. I'm looking at it. And so in that way, I look at it when I make a film, okay, who the targeted audience is, which is what we make the film for at the end of the day. So what is art and what is technology is the next 2 things that you actually look for. For me, technology is also an art, because art has been there from the day, Adam and Eve have been in this world, and you can define art in any form that you want. But you go to Google and say, and search what art is, it's just going to say it's a cinema, it's a dance, it's a painting, it's a sculpture, and any form of art which we all agree to it. When you go to technology, on the other hand, you go and search for it, it says technology is a term that has been derived from two Greek letters, actually. Please go and browse it. I'm not here to say what technology definition is. Okay, so you have to, so the word derives from that factor where the technology gives the utterance or the sound of what actually an art is. So art and technology, if you look at it, I will look at it from a certain perspective. It's like a husband and wife relationship. Okay, I don't want to say who's the husband and who's the wife here, because that will again take me to another conflict. Okay, so I'm not getting into there. But you have to look at it like an equation where art is one form of it, and the technologies are the form of it. Technology has enabled art for a lot of good things and greater things in life. And if you look at me, I'm like 40 years old, and now they talk about a lot of generations. I don't even understand what that is. Okay, till now I've been so away from social media for a couple of reasons. One is, okay, because I am in the media industry, I want to stay away in social media. But the other thing is, I'm not able to understand how to actually work on it. Like if I make a film and I put a poster onto it, I need to ensure I tag 15 people in that. Even if I miss one of them, there comes a question, sir, you missed me. I'm like, it's not a deliberate action. So it has a lot of rules and regulations that have been followed. But at the same time, technology is enabling us in lot of different possibilities, which wasn't the case for us when we were in my school days and college days. But on the other hand, I think especially the generation of mine, I think they call it as millennials because of the Y2K thing, which if I would have been US, I would have been multimillionaire sitting in, solving that Y2K right now. But still good. What happens is that generation is the most gifted generation. Nothing means that the other generations aren't, but we are the ones who have actually seen the transformation from an analog to digital, actually. So we know what an analog is, and we have adapted ourselves to what a digital is. Even the generations ahead of us, they are not able to adapt to the digital, or the generation behind us, they don't even know what analog is. I'm sure in electronics and communication, they will be trying to hit you with all those books saying what analog is, but we are not going to make use of it anywhere, actually. So for us, what we have seen earlier and before, in that perspective, I'm coming from a very common man's language, saying that how technology is enabling, cinema here, because that's where my strength is. And if you ask me, oh, you know technology, okay, you tell me how this app works, what's the Java code in it. Java is my own space. I don't even know Java is over here, but I'm saying those are not what I'm here to talk about. I'm like, you take cinema from an analog and digital point of view, how it has enabled talents, which is the first thing that I would actually come and speak about it here. Because in 2014, when we started our company, the first technology platform that helped us is actually YouTube. YouTube is a technology where you can actually upload anything and people have the insight to see anything at free of cost, which eventually turned out to be the biggest revenue model that the world is seeing right now. So that's where we started off saying Stone Bench. When we started, we call it as a Benchflix, a short film platform, which we had it at 2014, where we had hundreds of thousands of short films which came to us. And that's where it enabled us to become a producer as well. So what are the other different formats that you can see from a technology point of view? Is like, you talk about sound, you talk about editing, you talk about cinematography. Everything has technology in it. From what you have seen in the past and what's happening right now, it's so visible that you don't need to know what is the codec or what it is running on, but you'll be able to see from a standstill camera, which is right now over here. Now we can see drones flying across your home on top of it. So we need to be very careful. We don't know who's flying a drone on top of my home. Okay, so these are all technologies which enabling in giving and enhancing a better experience for the audience at the end of the day. Okay, where does technology helps? Actually, it is something which helps you to live your life in a better way. It has to enable you to be little comfortable in what you're trying to do, or making it feeling you better. But at the same time, technology is also, sometimes it goes beyond boundaries where you need to feel like, okay, there is also certain threats which are coming out of technology. For example, right now in cinema, AI is the most beautiful technology which is coming up, but we really don't know whether it's going towards of fulfilling the wishes of what we are trying to do from a talent perspective, or is it going to be a threat? We don't know. We are just waiting and watching for it, because Other beautiful thing about AI, on the other hand, if you look at it, now you can all get your actors and everybody at an younger age, aging and de-aging. I'm like, nothing excites you like seeing Rajni sir at a younger version in Jailer. That is also, it's very important. As long as we draw the lines of where it can be used and how it can be used, to what parameters it can be used, and if those regulations are falling in place, then I think we have a very good future in terms of that. And what else? I mean, like all these short film, for example, Karthik Subbaraj was a short film maker without even assisting anybody. So what made Karthik Subbaraj one of the finest filmmakers that the cinema has seen? I believe I will give the credit to technology, because when me and Karthik were actually living in Bangalore, working for the IT, actually I'm a banking employee, an IT employee, like any of you sitting in this room would love to aspire for. And so when we were living in Bangalore, the technology in terms of camera, where he was able to shoot a short film, which now has transcended itself into, you can actually shoot a film in iPhone 16 with a better quality than what we are doing. So he just took a camera, he went along and he made sure he shot few things for a minute, and then he came back. And there was a technology in terms of satellite which was actually moving ahead in life. They created a platform for them. He submitted, he became a part of it. And now we have a great director called Kaarthik Subbaraj in hand. This is just one of the point, not 1% of how a technology can help in cinema to have better filmmakers and to have better experiences. And so eventually, I would say art is the most beautiful thing, is the most soulful thing that humans can ever have. Actually, art, you don't have a definition for art. I mean, like, you don't have to restrict art to whether it's a movie or a dancing or a sculpture or painting. Being silent within yourself is actually art as well. Now that's why art of living, what's happening with the gentleman who's able to give peace and meditation. So art has its own definitions in every format that you live in life. You are actually associated with art, but in what form is not, others can tell you. It is only up to you and to your inner soul to identify and resonate with it. So I mean, like, that's where I thought, maybe I would just like to give a few words on what art and technology is all about. But it is great to have technology here. Even all your sound system, where does this Dolby Atmos and everything comes into picture? It's like enhancing the experiences. So in every department, there is a greater and larger than life growth which is happening in the industry right now. I think we are at the right phase of our time, where we need to make sure this is being told in the perfect way to the audiences who are looking forward to come into cinema. And I think we are also looking at an opportunity to build a rapport with JPR University in trying to make sure whatever the gaps that we are actually trying to address now, I think we may have a solution in the future. Hopefully the synergies align and we have a better thought process coming and making life easier for students or the aspirants who really want to delve into cinema. Because cinema, my dad used to tell me cinema is a maya, which is true. But when you say maya, it's how do I say, what's called in English? It's it's a imagine illusion. Yeah, it's actually an illusion. But it's an illusion for people who's outside it. People who are inside it, it's not anymore an illusion. It's actually a vision, on what you're working for. So once I came into cinema, even that illusion what my dad has is not anymore an illusion. He's very happy about the fact that my son is a producer and he's able to support certain forms of life in a certain way. It's very happy about it. How many of you actually say, like, if in the group of all these 100, if I ask, what do you want to become? I want to become an engineer. I want to become a doctor. I want to become an actor. I want to become a music director. In my life, I've never heard anyone saying, I want to become a producer. Okay, so it's as simple as it sounds, but I'm telling you, it's the most difficult job that anybody can actually do in life. And when you make all those hit films, beautiful films, like, I don't want to name it because there are so many calls goes to everybody, the actor, the music director, the director. You made a fantabulous film. Great. In my life, I've not got one phone call saying, hey, producer, you produced an excellent film, man. It's actually a funny statement with a very hurtful sentiments behind it. So I treat the producer and director to be like a father and a mother. Father is the producer, mother is the director, and we are trying to conceive a baby. Father's job doesn't stop, when she becomes pregnant. It has a process associated with it. Eventually, the baby has to get delivered, and we both have to live in harmony to make the baby grow up and, attain a certain stage in life. And they do the same process again as a continuous thing. So we are talking about continuing a legacy here. So I hope, in future producers also get the same credibility and the attention what a director, an actor, and a music director gets it, because we also play a very important role. I think this transformation of analog to digital is helping a lot of people to aspire to do a lot of different things in life. And trust me, you don't need to have money to become a producer. You need to just have a good heart, good intention, and good people around you. Money will follow you. So I take this opportunity in TEDx to tell people, guys, you can become a producer. You have good guys who are actually doing it, and you are doing wonders. It's a very corporate thing, and cinema is not like, what do you think? It's not a very structured thing, or it is not. Those days have changed. Trust me, if I'm a producer who made my way, and I'm like one of the good producers to look for, cinema has changed completely. It's the most structured thing right now, and everybody, without any inhibitions and without any assumptions, please do come and make cinema the better. And every day, that's what we are here to do, and every creator is trying to do that. And that's what my humble request is. And thank you for this opportunity, and have a great time. Yeah, thank you.